Vegetarian eating BLTs now. That's what it's come down to. I don't think bacon's real meat though. And all this weed is so good compared to what I'm used to. So yeah, I got on the show Weeds. It was pretty cool getting on the show Weeds. I kind of thought I was going to be a bigger star there than I was, because they brought me, I just written my first book, 9021 Grow.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the producers brought me in, they're like, we want you to be a consultant on the show. And I was like, what, can I be on the show? And one of my good friends is a pretty serious movie star. I thought, I could do that. And they're like, oh my god, yeah, you're perfect. We're going to create a character with your name. It'll be the Craig X character. It'll be just fine. It'll be awesome. So I told everybody, I know, dude, I'm going to be on TV. I'm going to be on the show Weeds. They're like, dude, you're perfect for it, bro. You smoke tons of weed. I was like, I know. This is like the greatest thing. And then 2 weeks later, the producers call me and they're like, yeah, Craig, yeah, we need you to come in and audition. I was like, audition? I thought the character was Craig X. I read the script. And he's like, yeah, well, you're not a member of SAG, so you have to audition. I was like, are you kidding me? I was thinking, what happens if I didn't get the job? How do you tell your dad some other real actor was able to capture the essence of Craig X? It was kind of stressful, and I go in there, and it's like two dudes look like me, walk like me, talk like me. And fuck, it's like the Slim Shady of acting gigs, So I introduced myself. I'm like, hey, I'm Craig X. And he was like, wow, you're really into the role, man. I was like, no, dude, I really am. He goes, bro, you don't have to sell me. He's like, I'm trying to get into it. Thank God I passed the audition, It would have sucked. Oh, that Craig X dude. No. He just is an actor. But no, it was cool. I got on the show, and then I got on Super High Me, Haunted House of Chronic, Totally Baked. All I've ever done is weed movies. Kind of typecast. And weed has been very, very good to me my whole life. Well, except for the very first time I smoked weed. The first time I smoked weed was cool, but I didn't really inhale. Then I was at my buddy's house, whose parents are famous stoners, they're in the music business. And my dad was like, just tell me the truth. Did you try marijuana? You never get in trouble when you tell the truth, right? That's some bullshit you tell your parents. They always tell you, oh yeah, just tell the truth. It's never as bad as when you lie and then get caught, right? So I'm like, yeah, I smoked a little weed, Dad. I had hair like you, dude. Seriously. We went right to the barbershop. This is in 1978. I ended up with a fucking crew cut for smoking weed, and I was not happy about that. So, but then, my parents were pretty cool. They used to let me hang out at Jack Harris hemp booth when I was 12 years old down in Venice Beach. So I met the stoners, I learned about hemp, and I felt like God gave me a mission in life, to bring marijuana to the masses, or the asses, smoking the grasses, sipping on molasses. I find I'm like Dr. Seuss when I smoke weed, I'm always rhyming shit. Oh, Jeff was gone. Alright, well, it's nice of you to come visit, dude. Thought you were going to say something for a second. Alright, well, I always try to give good advice, and important stuff when I'm doing a little bit of comedy, too. It's important that you improve your life in some way, have a better life. So I used to always tell people, sell marijuana because it's profitable. It's, much more so, especially when you grow it. Because I went to UCLA and I studied a little economics. I didn't even know what the fuck they were talking about, capitalism, labor, the division of labor and everything until I grew some weed. Because I used to sell weed. I'd get an eighth for 55 and I'd sell it for 60. There's hardly any margin there, right? But at least I'd get a free nug, and occasionally my buddy would smoke me out and get some food. And so one day, before I hiked the John Muir Trail, I had this little Asian landlord. He's always like, hey Craig, how you doing? she's always like trying to hit me up for extra money, extra $5 on the bill or whatever, and I'd smoke weed just to chill out in the backyard, and I'd flip the seeds in the garden. And so I go to do the John Muir Trail, I hike 240 miles, I'm gone for 30 days, I come back and she goes, "Welcome home, Craig. I water your tomato plant, look beautiful." And I go out there and there's like a 4-foot weed plant. And I'm like, holy cow. So I ran to the nursery immediately and I bought like 6 tomato plants to put all around the thing. So eventually I could give her some free tomatoes. And this plant gets to be 9, 10 feet taller. Like it wouldn't stop growing. It felt like Jack and the Beanstalk or something. I'm trying to cut it down from going over the fence and it just gets bushier and bushier. Go on by, dude. Go on. Come on. You guys on next doing music? Alright, what's your name? Lillian? Lilith Fair. Are you Irish?
No, Polish.
Polish.
Let's go get the post.
Alright, lass. We'll see you in a minute. I don't know. I don't know any Polish accent. All I know is put the camps in Poland. Yeah. What else happens in Poland? My grandmother was from Poland. Well, she said the borders kept changing every few months or so she never knew when they were in Poland, Germany, Russia, whatever. What was I saying? Seriously.
Tomato.
Oh yeah, the tomatoes. So anyways, I grow this plant is fucking huge. Like I get like 2 pounds off this thing. And so my friends are always like, "Dude, you got that like San Fernando Valley Chronic?" And I'd be like, "No, but I got some Samo Sativa." You know, and before I was selling for 60 an eighth, now it's like 50 an eighth, because the whole $50 was mine. And I'm like, oh, that's what they mean by owning the means of production. I'm the fucking capitalist now. I'm no longer labor. I was labor before. Suddenly, like, the heavens opened and I understood economics. Thanks to weed, okay? Thanks to weed. I know the fucking metric system. Who else knows the fucking metric system for people into weed? Unless you live in Mexico. Right? Alright, so, and I'll give some guys advice too about women, because I've been married for like almost 20 years. 5 different times, but still a lot of experience. So, and the trick is to get them to sleep with you again, because I mean, guys will put up with a lot of shit just to get a woman to sleep with them. I mean, basically listening to them to begin with. I'm sorry if you guys aren't in a relationship, but you know, like, we'll listen to a lot of bullshit if you think you might actually be sleeping with that woman. Like, oh my god, and then my friends did this, and she had this person, she was dressing this, and I was wearing that. No, like, I really don't care, but you'll just be like, oh my god, yes, okay? So here's what I have found to kind of make them think you're actually listening. We don't have to share this with everybody. I mean, this is the coolest fucking place I've ever, thought of. Like, dude, my buddy here is spinning things. You got Jamin the MC right here, Diablo DJ back here. I'm like, literally, this is my grandfather's basement, converted. So, getting back to the advice. I don't remember how far along I was, but I was doing them bullshit and went all the round tables. So here's the trick, guys. Feel, felt, found. Okay? And you just throw that in the, right? You with me? Feel, felt, found? Okay? Oh yeah, I know how you feel. Okay, because I felt that way before. And what I found was, whatever bullshit you want to say. But it totally makes them think you've actually been really paying attention. Okay? Then the next trick is to please them sexually. And it's all. Right? It's just, because if they come first, right, then you're totally happy. Imagine if all of a sudden you came and it was over, or like they came and it was over, you'd be like, what the hell? Right? But that's the kind of bullshit guys pull on women all the time. So, you just make sure they come first. Then you get a second shot. Okay, just throwing that out there, right? It's important. It's important. I mean, you gotta take care of women, obviously. Look out for them, protect them, whatever. They're like cats in some ways. they want to kill you. You know, you heard that recent study? It said if your cat was about 150 pounds larger, it would probably kill you. Because it's just instinctual. And I don't know what it is about women. I mean, obviously, we need them, we love them, but they're an emotional wreck half the time, right? It's just up and down and up and down. Your dudes, you never have that issue with. You're just like, bro, you work it out. But your woman can turn on you like, thank God they don't know how to use knives that well. There'd be stabbings and shit. So remember, please the woman. Okay, so and that's what I try to do. I don't remember which wife this was. It was the one we had the place in Arizona. So we buy this ranch in Arizona. Jen, that was her name. Okay. So it was Genevieve, but she just went by Jen. Jen on the block. Okay, so she saw a mouse in the house, and we already had 2 cats. And when you live on a ranch, like every animal has a job, right? It isn't like Paris Hilton where you just carry around the dog to show your friends. The dog lets you know when someone's coming down the driveway. The goats give you milk and cheese, and the cats are supposed to keep the mice away. It's a fucking job. So she sees a mouse in the house, and we have to fire the cats. Again, I don't know if you've ever fired cats before, but it isn't easy. So we fired the 2 cats, and then my buddy says, oh, dude, I got a cat for you. And I'm like, nobody ever has a fucking cat for you. And somebody says it in front of you, oh, she's a mouser, you're totally selling this cat, right? Oh, you'll never see another mouse in the house with this cat. And I'm like, babe, don't get a cat from anybody. A kitten maybe, right? You have 8 of them, I got a kitten. But nobody gives away a good cat. I'm like, there's something fucking wrong with this cat if the dude's giving it away. And she's like, no, we have to have the cat, we have to have the... There's a mouse in the house. I'm afraid of mice. So we get this cat, and all of a sudden the cat disappears. I have no idea where it goes. It goes into the attic. I don't see this cat. Okay? There's still mice. This is a piece of shit cat. Nobody's giving away a fucking decent cat. You know, so I call the asshole that gives me the cat. I'm gonna say his name, Mark Saylor. But he was my real estate guy, and I was happy with the deal on the house, but I knew the cat was a bad fucking deal. You know, sometimes you just know. So all of a sudden there's just like drip, drip, drip coming from the ceiling. I'm like, we've got no pipe over there. It's like the cat had turned part of the roof in the attic into the litter box, and peas dripping through the roof, right? Thank you. The most disgusting thing you can ever imagine. So I call my buddy Mark, my buddy, right? You know those buddies, right? Anyways, they're always there to help, like, and the help's never as solid as you expect. Those ones. So I go, dude, you gotta come get this cat out. You gotta get your cat out. He goes, well, let me tell you how to get rid of your cat. What I suggest is you get water in a bottle and you just spray it until it gets out of the house and just fire it by locking it out of the house. So I try with just hot water, boiling hot water, because he'd already broken some shit, he scratched people. I mean, it was the worst cat in the world. And so I'm can't get this cat to go out the house. He's just running, breaking stuff. So finally, I don't want to go into the attic, and I'm blocking the way to the attic. And I'm spraying hot boiling water into this cat's face, and he keeps climbing up the ladder, like one rung at a time. I've never been scared of a cat in my life. I'm like, oh my god, this fucking thing knows I'm trying to kill it. It's gonna get me. I finally shot it with like paintballs, okay, and hit it. And I still couldn't get it. My friend had to cut a hole in the wall where it was hiding. We had to jump into a net, and I had to throw this cat away. Okay, and I know this is a long story, but this is a lesson for the gentleman, okay? Seriously. Alright, this goes back to treating the woman right and making sure they enjoy the sexual experience. And just the fact is, nobody's giving good pussy away for free. So, that's the point. That's the lesson I'm trying to give here. But treat the ladies right, okay? I'm sure we can get an amen on that one, ladies.
Amen.
Okay. So, and if that means licking the pussy, it means licking the pussy. Okay. I love the way she just leaned on you right there. Is that your favorite? It reduces nausea, dude.
It reduces nausea.
And the beard tickles a little, I'm sure. Always. Perfect. She made you grow the beard. All right. What's your name? Josh? Tosh? Josh? John? What? Weed smoking has made me go a little deaf here. No, what's your name? Haley? Did I say it right? Am I getting it wrong?
Stacy.
Stacy. Okay, Stacy. You know what? This is the great thing about having a wireless microphone. What is your name? Casey. All right. Stonerd Casey. Okay. And this is Partridge right here, Mr. Partridge. He's got the weed church. I actually had a weed church. It's called Temple 420. Yeah, it's because, well, for two reasons. One, I do like the Bible, and also I didn't want to get in trouble for selling weed. So I thought, I mean, I'm just being honest here, right? I wanted medical marijuana, but they kept busting all the people out of my state. And I actually sold weed at the Super Bowl legally with this dude back in '96. Well, it wasn't really with this dude. He was just a kid back then. He bought weed from me. But what happened was this dude named Pete Wilson, since you guys are in the pot of it, I'll share the story with you. Pete Wilson's a professor in Northern Arizona, whatever, in Flagstaff. He's teaching anthropology and selling weed to his students because he's looked up the Arizona dealer's license and put the tax stamps on each gram. So his wife eventually told on him when they split up because that's the kind of shit that chicks do when they're mad. She wasn't good at a knife, but she had to call the government and be like, yo, fuck with my husband, okay? That's the problem with the government these days, is that it's just used to fuck with people rather than to be. But that's another